It feels like every day there's a new AI tool that promises to change the world, right?
Right. Feels like drinking from a fire hose.
Exactly. But today's deep dive, I think, has the potential to be really interesting. We're looking at Cursor, which bills itself as this AI-first code editor.
AI first. That's a bold statement.
It is. So we're going beyond just like sprinkling AI on top of the same old code editor. Cursor wants to completely rethink how we code from the ground up. And that has me wondering, are we witnessing the birth of something different, something new?
Well, to really understand Cursor, we need to look at what it promises, and that starts with something every developer is familiar with, autocomplete.
Right, autocomplete.
Mhm.
But
Cursor takes it to a whole new level. We're talking multi-line edits. Like, it can predict entire blocks of code based on your intent. Like having a coding buddy who's always one step ahead.
like it can practically read your mind and finish your functions for you.
Almost, yeah. Their website talks about freeing up your cognitive load so you can focus on the elegant solutions, the big picture, without getting bogged down in syntax.
Which is a huge part of coding, let's be honest.
It really is, yeah.
So it sounds like Cursor's really going for that flow state.
Yeah.
And they even have this thing called cursor prediction. Have you seen this?
Yeah, it helps you navigate your code base more intuitively. Like, it knows where you want to go next, even if you don't realize it yet.
Okay, but the chat feature, this is where things start to feel a little bit like magic.
It's not just a chat window, it's like having a conversation with your code base.
So explain this to me like I'm 5, because I'm looking at this at Codebase thing.
Okay, so say you need to find a specific function, but it's buried somewhere in thousands of lines of code. Instead of scrolling endlessly, you just ask the chat using @Codebase, where's this function? And boom, it highlights it for you.
No way.
Yes, it even understands context. So if you're working on a specific part of your project, it will prioritize results from that area.
That's incredible. And they even mentioned image understanding. Like you could show it a diagram and have it generate code based on that.
It's a wild concept. Imagine feeding it a UI mockup and having it generate the HTML and CSS.
That's insane. That would be amazing, though.
Truly game-changing.
And then there's the web integration, right?
Ah!
Which is huge because how many times
Oh, all the time.
are you coding and you need to look something up, so you have to switch over to your browser, breaking your concentration?
Context switching is a killer.
It is. And Cursor wants to solve that by pulling documentation directly into your editor.
Right there in context. Brilliant.
Okay, so now you're on a tight deadline. You need to refactor a nasty piece of code and fast. This is where Ctrl+K swoops in to save the day.
Fast edits. They call it fast edits. Tell Cursor what you want to do, like make this function more efficient or add error handling here, and it does it.
And it can actually do it correctly.
Well, that's the hope, right?
Yeah, that's the dream.
That it can take on those tedious tasks so you can focus on the creative problem-solving aspects of coding.
Exactly, exactly. And for those of us who are, shall we say, command line challenged,
They have a solution.
terminal Ctrl+K. Tell Cursor what you want to do in plain English, and it translates it into command line magic. It's like having a translator for the terminal.
A very patient and understanding translator.
Yes. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack here, and obviously we're working for marketing materials, so there's always a bit of hype,
Always skepticism is healthy.
of course. But even if Cursor delivers on half of what it's promising, it could be huge.
It really could. It makes you wonder, though, what does it even mean to be a programmer in a world where AI can do so much of the heavy lifting?
Right. Is it more about problem solving at a higher level, designing the solution and letting the AI handle the implementation?
Interesting, right? Maybe it's about being able to clearly articulate your intentions to the AI. Like, how do you communicate your vision in a way that the AI can understand and execute?
That's a really good point. It becomes less about knowing a specific syntax and more about understanding the logic and flow of code.
Exactly. The tools are changing, so the skills we need to use them effectively will inevitably change too.
It's an exciting time to be a developer, that's for sure. A little scary, maybe, but exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. The future of coding is, well, it's being written as we speak.
That's a good place to end it.
Yeah.